And we're back live from Las Vegas. It's time for another edition of the Bar Gig Files. And we have today probably one of the most perfect guests representing bar comedy.
Three, two, one, fire.
Katrina Brown is perfect for the Bar Gig Files. She's got big personality. She's got that big energy that translates over fantastic when it comes to doing comedy in a bar. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a virtual round of applause for Katrina Brown.
Howdy. Good
There
to see you,
she
Jeremy.
is. Yeah, good to see you too. You really do have the perfect energy for a bar crowd. You go in, we put on the posters all the time. You're known for big hair, big mouth, big attitude, maybe not the big hair so much.
Not right now, no.
That's what you need for a bar show.
It's a crapshoot every time we go in. I like the unknown of it, especially your rooms.
Was that always you, or does the stage give you the permission to turn the volume up?
No, I've always been kind of obnoxious. I just figured out a way to get paid for it.
Yeah. We share the same story, I think, as far as that goes. Just got to figure out how to get paid to be obnoxious.
Well, and the stage, it's your superhero identity. You know what I mean? Like, off stage, I'll be Clark Kent. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a grandma now. We do our day-to-day lives, but on stage, we get to be the super unfiltered version of ourselves. And that's not a bad way to make a living.
So you said earlier that you never know what to expect. Bar rooms can be unpredictable.
Right.
Do you feel more powerful in a rowdy bar or in a quiet comedy club?
I feel more comfortable in any room that wants the comedy. And I love my comedy clubs, don't get me wrong. But when you have a comedy club that's been in business for a long time, there are regulars, that's their bar, that's their hangout. So they're not there always for the comedy. But you get some town that doesn't have a comedy club, and they advertise they're having comedy night. It's like the circus comes to town. It's something different and unique and special. A lot of your rooms are like that. And that's why I love working your rooms, because it's not an open mic offshoot of a club where people couldn't get time, so they made their own little room. And there's nothing wrong. We all need open mics. I love every aspect of comedy. I'm not cracking on anybody, but we're talking bar comedy. And when I go into these little towns, you know what I mean? These little towns that don't have comedy anywhere. Some of these people are in their 30s, 40s, 50s. They've never seen live comedy. So they're excited because they don't know what to expect. And then we get to go in there and just blah! It's awesome. So I do prefer that energy because they're there for comedy. They're not there for anything else.
Well, it's interesting what you said, that you go to some clubs that have been established for years and years in that city, and they have their regulars.
Yeah.
And those regulars will treat that comedy club as though, like you said, it's their hangout bar, and they act like that. Yeah. And then you go to the places where it actually is their hangout bar, not a sanctioned comedy club by any means. And when you roll in with the circus coming to town, they treat it like Carnegie Hall.
Well, and they think, I don't know if it's a respect thing or they're just excited for something different. There's a room that I did of yours that was so small. I pulled up and parked the car, and the dirt road across the street, people were hanging on their porches. They yelled, "Hey, the comic's here," because I was the only car they didn't recognize. Most of the people that came to the bar lived across the street from the bar. Yeah. And they were so excited, and it was an amazing show. So, and you don't know, especially on the road, what area you're into, and this might be a little bit different for me as a woman because I have to feel safe to go somewhere to pee, that I'm not going to get mugged. So it is empowering because you can't be afraid and be on the road. You can't be timid and be on the road. You've got to put your big girl pants on, square your shoulders back at 5'2.5" and say, I'm going to do it. And do it.
Yeah. That's right. Have you ever had a crowd that thought they could out loud Katrina Brown?
I did, but it was at a comedy club.
Right.
I did. I had some heckler issues at a comedy club that I've worked many times. I handled it.
So how do you know when to push and how do you know when to pull back?
Well, I very rarely pull back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not there to pull back.
Right.
If you've placed me in a room or I've been booked, they know they've got somebody with a lot of energy. And there is a misconception that because I'm a female, I'm going to be bitchy. I don't get rude unless somebody gets rude with me first. I'll give back that if it's handed to me. But that's one nice thing I like about the comedy I do is that I am nothing that they expect. Nothing, especially as I get older.
Yes, and that's true. We did those he said, she said comedy.
I miss
Battle
those
of the
shows.
Sexes. What did we do for 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, I miss those
until
shows.
everything went a little bit crazy in 2020.
And I think they expected some softer side of comedy because I have a vagina.
I think so. I noticed that myself.
They didn't get that.
And when we did we had a great show because we would each do about a 30 to 45 minute set.
Yep.
And we each have 90 minutes of material minimum
or more. Yeah.
On our own. And so when you can condense all that down into 30 to 45 minute sets, you can pick and choose. You can do a greatest hits. It's going to be tight no matter what. And then we would get on stage together and we would improv the Q&A portion of the show based off of the audience's questions that they could ask anything about life, love, relationships, sex, drugs, rock and roll. And we would spin that into, mostly comedy gold, sometimes comedy bronze, but
we had fun.
We had a lot of fun. And that was
the more questions they asked and the longer that part lasted, sometimes that was more fun to me than the scripted comedy.
It was, and I think it was more fun and more memorable for the audience as well. And sometimes we would lead into bits that we knew each other's bit went with that particular subject matter, and we would lead each other into that. Yep. And sometimes we would even roast each other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And what I noticed from that experience, from what you were saying earlier, they're expecting a little bit of softness from you.
Right.
Then when you would roast me, they loved it. Like they loved it because you were hitting the JerDog with some good stuff. But when I would roast you,
they'd get defensive.
They'd go, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what show it was, and I don't even remember how it happened. But the one time you ended up just dropping into the fetal position on stage, I don't remember what I said. I wish I remembered. But it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I missed those moments.
I might have been overselling that a little bit.
You did, but it was perfect. The crowd loved it.
Yeah,
they loved it.
I think that's what you have to, so I asked you about being bigger on stage. I definitely get bigger on stage. Off stage, I'm very laid back. On stage, I believe the same thing you said earlier. You go full tilt.
Yeah, you have to.
To me, the worst thing you can do is go up there and play it safe. Go up there and make an ass out of yourself.
Well, I will say, off stage, my personal sense of humor is very dark. Yeah. Almost wrong dark. And if I if I got on stage and let that out at every show, I wouldn't have made it in comedy. I might have had some injuries, but I wouldn't have made it. There are a few bits I have, if I can read that room right, know they can handle it, and I'm able to let that part of my personality out. Oh, I love those shows.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
happens way more often in a bar gig than it does at a comedy club.
Have you ever been a place where you're a little bit skeptical? I mean, you've done so many of these stages. Have you ever been where you're like, I don't know if it's going to succeed here? If there's someone walks in and they're like, oh, I don't like comedy, like.
That could happen anywhere. That's a risk we take with
Yeah.
every gig. It doesn't
Yeah.
scare
What's
me.
your
It doesn't stop
strategy
me.
for that kind of thing? What's your
Well,
strategy? You just stay true to the game plan?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
we have to. If you book me to do an hour-long set, and halfway through it's not working, you got to figure out how to make it work. That's why you're there. That's your job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why people say, "Oh, I've got an hour. I'm ready to headline." No, you're not. You need way more than an hour because you got to be able to jump through hoops sometimes. If the audience doesn't like sex humor, then you better have more joke than that. You have to have other topics than that to cover. So,
Yeah, that's why I asked the strategy, because I do have that strategy based on what you just said. Is I go in the first few and I throw out everything I'm probably going to talk about over the next hour. And then I
Yeah.
see what they're responding to in what way. And
Right.
then in that 5 to 10 minutes tells me what direction to then take everything else based on that. So I'm going to deliver the game plan, but then I'm also going to sort of weave it based on what they're already into, already resonating.
Right, what they find funny. Yeah. Because ultimately I want to entertain the people in the room. I don't want them
Yeah,
walking
exactly.
out going, "What did we just listen to?" So.
And I gotta say, I am so happy and proud to see that you recently put out an open bar comedy special.
I did. It sucked, but I had
So,
fun.
is that something we can talk about?
Yeah, we can. It's actually kind of funny because it fell right with me and my husband's 25th wedding anniversary. So we planned our anniversary around my filming and took a week before the filming on the beach. We barely answered text messages because I hate being on video. I hate it. And the only day it rained was the day of my shooting. And I had my hair was grown out down to the middle of my back, and I was all dolled up, and I got caught in the rain. I'm like, fuck. So I threw a hat on the video. People are like, "Oh, who does she think she is? The female Sam Kinison?" Because people can't comment on the comedy. They got to rip you apart. So I was a little self-conscious. I don't think it's a great representation of me, but it's out there. What are you going to do? I would love to reshoot it.
Yes. That's something that I've never really even had the guts to do, is because of what you just said. You put it out there. Now it's out there. And you got to nail it. The best representations of my act or your act probably took place in one of those small town bars in the middle of nowhere, and you just clicked that night. And when you're doing a comedy special, you got one chance to hit. That's your shot.
I mean,
it's not a movie. Horrible. Well, okay, let's do that. Let's do another take.
Yeah, it's not horrible.
No, but I know what you mean. You know what you're capable of.
My energy was off. My energy was bad.
Yeah.
So it just felt strained. Because I didn't really watch the comics before me. What was that?
I said you can't tell that when you watched it at all.
No,
you cannot tell that at all when you watch it.
Yeah, we are our own worst critics. We will pick apart everything that we do and make ourselves crazy. So, it's not bad. It's just not my best. My husband liked it, and he does not walk around playing cheerleader. If he thinks something's a mess, he'll tell me. But he's like, "Well, I knew you were upset about your hair." I'm like, it's one of the reasons I cut it all off again. Like, this is a fucking costume, man. I am not this woman. I need to go back to being me and not stress about it. So, but it was fun. It was an experience. And I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, I always feel protective of my act, so I think it's cool when you're able to put your stuff out there, and like you said, they won't criticize the comedy as much as they'll pick apart every other possible thing. That's not something you had back on TV though. If you put out an HBO special or a Comedy Central special, they just had to watch it on their screen. There wasn't any place below that where people could put a note about what they
Right.
didn't like about it, and now that
Well,
stuff's online. Even
and
here, comment below what you don't like about the video you're watching. Katrina will
and
love that.
what you brought up too about protecting your material, I chose to do material that night that wasn't exceptionally personal, so that if it got swiped, or like there's a lot of comics that won't put their stuff online because there are joke thieves out there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do what I felt was my top material that night for that reason. I skirted around some material and left a lot out on purpose because I don't want that out there.
Yeah.
If you're on video, if your best is on video, what's the motivation for people coming to see you at a show?
Yep.
So, but I have certain bookers who kept insisting they needed video. So I did.
And then you got to take years to rework that.
What?
Oh, very cool. No, it's like, and then it takes you a while. Even if I can come up with more material, it takes you a while to come up with more stuff that's perfect and polished and as good as that again.
Right.
I always like to keep it in my back pocket. I just don't want to do the work and come up with something that's better than that joke again.
I've been writing a lot of new stuff because I get sick of my own material. And some of the new stuff that I'm doing, I can't wait. It's like a new toy. I can't wait to play with it.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm excited for, I realized I'm in 19 years in. And you can't keep doing the same shit for 19 years. You can't. I mean, you can, but
how do you
that's boring.
You go a little bit crazy.
Yep.
We've also got Katrina's in America's Best Bar Comics Volume 1 and Volume 2. The front cover of Volume 1, back panel comic strip on Volume 2. We're probably going to have to make room for other comedians for Volume 3. She's dominating just a little too much. And if you want to check that out, we'll put a link down there. How's that feel being in a comic book?
It's pretty cool. Even when I was like, hey, don't worry about Volume 2. I was happy to be on the cover of 1. And when you put me on the back cover of 2, I'm like, that's enough. That's enough. Find somebody else. That's enough.
Yeah.
Cool.
I realized that if I had everybody on there that I thought would be on there and everybody that goes on the book is on the covers is there for a reason. It's a different reason maybe for each one of them, but they're on there for a reason. And when I was looking at it, I wanted to include you on the first cover because of our history together.
Right.
And then on the second one, I realized that there's not another female comedian on this thing, and everybody's going to think this is some sexist boys club.
Right.
But you really do have we have plenty of women comedians with the Pub and Grub Comedy. All great. Katrina, I feel like, is the best representation, not just of the women that do bar comedy, but of bar comedians in general. That's why you're on both covers.
Don't make me cry on film. Because I talk about being a sap, and I am, but the comedy community doesn't get to see it.
Yeah.
Unless they travel.
First time for everything.
Unless they travel with me and see me get all teary-eyed over snow on the mountains. Do you remember that trip when I stopped in the middle of the road to take pictures?
Yeah.
Because there was snow on trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. I do remember that. And there's probably a reason why we drove to most gigs separately.
Shut up. I'm a safe driver.
Yeah, you are a safe driver. And you know what? I would say ultimate road warrior. We did, well, something like 20 hours straight between Iowa and Las Vegas before
Yeah.
we actually pulled over. But you had already done 12 hours before that.
Yeah,
I was
from
like,
Ohio to
wow.
Iowa. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was wild.
You know, I made
So,
that trip again.
yes. How, and you did, but this time on your own?
No, I had another comic with me, but I drove 99.9% of the entire trip.
Yeah.
I drove from Ohio to Wisconsin and picked him up. And I insisted that we go through Colorado because I wanted to see the hotel that inspired The Shining.
Yeah.
So I made the trip longer than it had to be for a nerd stop.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful trip. Stopped and saw the Grand Canyon on the way back. I'm making more of my road trips and seeing stuff, even if it's nerdy stuff. Like the Roseanne house, I saw that a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
The house from Shameless. I know you don't watch TV, but other people are gonna know what I'm talking about. If it's free and I can find it, I'll stop. I just took Pat with me to Minnesota and made him see the Hodag in Rhinelander, Wisconsin.
Oh, cool.
It's just a statue.
Yeah.
This whole town's got a little mythical creature called the Hodag, and I made Pat see it.
Those are so great. Those small town tourist trap things.
They are.
Yeah.
It's
That
fun.
is one of the best parts of comedy. A lot of comedians say that they will travel sometimes, even if it's not the best money, but they want to go to where they're going. They want to see the countryside.
And I had never traveled before comedy, so I got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, right on.
Still.
Well, hey, we're at our 20-minute mark. I appreciate
right.
you doing this. You spent 20 minutes on video. She might have even teared up a little bit. So you got to see some unique stuff from Katrina Brown today. You know, and I gotta go. JerDog's not here anymore, Katrina.
All right, man. You be safe.
JerDog has to go now.
I am not doing a Tony Redrum finger. No, that's creepy. I'm home alone right now. I don't need that energy in this room.
All right, Katrina Brown, everybody, thank you for doing that. Thank you for being here. This is a lot of fun. Let's have a round of applause. Check out the book and check out Katrina's open bar comedy special. Any fun gigs you got coming up?
Yeah, I am doing my home club the first week of March. It's actually going to be my last week there because they're closing their doors, so that should be cool. It's my 19th comedy anniversary and my birthday, so we'll make a party out of it.
And where's that going to be?
In Cuyahoga Falls at the Funny Stop, March 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Okay. Thanks, Katrina.
Thank you, man. We'll talk soon.
Have fun. I should talk to you soon.